Of course, we are happy that we are making this submission to the International Control Board on issues of cannabis. My presentation is largely on the non-medical use of cannabis. And I'm drawing my example, my case and my presentation from my country, Uganda, where we have seen that the environment is getting affected by cannabis. When I talk about the environment specifically, I'm looking at issues of where forests are being cut down, are being degraded because people are trying to plant a lot of marijuana for selling. And what do we see? We see people cutting big chunks of acreage of forests, and in the middle of the forest, people are planting cannabis. Even there are situations where actually forests have disappeared. And what people are doing are planting maize, are planting and hiding cannabis. For us, this is a concern because forests help to generate environment, to conserve the land, to help to raise rainfall. But when people begin to cut, because they want to plant marijuana, they want to hide it very far, then we have begun to see that we are now receiving less rainfall in the country because the green cover, the forests have been, eliminated and cut off, and what people are doing is to plant cannabis. This is an issue of concern which we must address. And if cannabis is the sole cause of the environmental degradation, not because we are scarce of land, because we are told that cannabis will enjoy to grow in very fresh areas, and which the forest, the forest cover which provide nutrient soil and soil which for growing very good cannabis. And this is one of the reasons why it's there. So cannabis has been singled out as the major cause of the environmental degradation and the forest, reducing forest cover. So this must be addressed. Then the second issue of cannabis is, if we legalize cannabis, in Africa we have got a lot of problems. We have got many problems. As you know, cannabis has its own side effects. And the side effects have a negative impact, not only on young people, but on adults. So if we have so many problems, cannabis use is not the priority. Our priority is that we need to look at issues of schools, issues of poverty, issues of unemployment. But anything which will escalate the problem, then that is not in our favor. That's why we have the view that legalization is not really the best answer, given the poverty levels, given the levels of unemployment, given even lacking the infrastructure to address and to treat problems associated with cannabis. Our medical services are very poor. We don't have the technical expertise. And we have got so many problems, so we cannot. Our argument is strengthened further because African population is very young. For example, 1.2 billion are young people. My country alone, 60% are young people who are below 18 years. When we begin to open and to discuss cannabis, we need to discuss cannabis in the context of our countries. Issues of, where many young people are not going to school. Where the infrastructure, like I said, is very bad and poor. And our countries cannot even afford to provide the social services. In a country where many children are going to school, you have to be very careful. And you have to prioritize your issues very well. Because is it cannabis the issue, or children going to school, or children receiving medical services? Or children, being assisted to be able to cope, to be able to live, to address the issues of unemployment. This is very critical in low developed, because we cannot compare developed countries with the low-income countries. There's a very big dichotomy, and that dichotomy tells you a lot, that some of the ingredients, some of the suggestions being developed in the Western world may not actually answer some of the issues. For example, here, issues of, young people using cannabis, is considered a very challenging issue to address, because if you develop the medical issues which come along with it, then how do you address it? That's why we are saying that apart from destroying the vegetation cover, the environment, the forest, and leading to long drought seasons which we are not here before, we need to protect the young people. So members of the International Control Board and the civil society, I want you to support, and I want you to agree and see this problem as it is.